Welcome back to another episode of Gold Case Files. I'm your host, David Womack. Now, in this next video we're about to show you will leave you speechless. Viewer discretion is advised. Ezra McCandless was on trial for the murder of one of her lovers, 24-year-old Alex Woodworth. Prosecutors claim McCandless stabbed Woodworth 16 times on March 22, 2018, to rid herself of the inner turmoil of having multiple affairs and an abortion. The defense argues McCandless acted in self-defense when Woodworth tried to rape her. She was found guilty of first-degree murder and is serving life in prison.
If you need anything, water or a snack, I'll try. I'll do what I can get it for you, okay? All right, so my name is Mark. I feel clerk police department. Before we begin, like I said, you're free to leave anytime you want. You can stop talking whenever you want. This door is only closed for our privacy. You can leave anytime you want, okay? Just let me know that ahead of time. How do you spell your first name?
E-Z-R-A.
What's your middle initial?
J.
And how do you spell your last name, miss?
M-C-C-A-N-D-L-E-S-S.
What's your date of birth?
October 6, 1997.
Josh called us. Obviously, he was concerned about your safety and Jason's safety. He was concerned that if he felt like you guys haven't slept or haven't eaten in days, tired from that, or you guys were exhausted from that. So that was our first concern, make sure you're okay physically. Mm-hmm. If you guys are, he also mentioned that Jason's upset about something that happened to you that hasn't been reported yet. Okay. Again, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. If you do, that's fine too.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay. So we'll start with what you're comfortable with as far as you told me that it happened here in Eau Claire, correct? You know where?
It happened at... The first thing that happened was at Jason's house, and the second thing that happened was at John's house.
Okay. We'll go with what happened at Jason's house.
At Jason's house, John grabbed me by the throat twice.
Okay. Any reason why he did that?
Because he liked him.
He likes to do that? Like, is that like a fetish of his, or?
I think so.
Okay. Was there any kind of warning sign that, like, did you do something? Did you say something? Did he do something? Did someone else say something that?
I was sitting on the counter after I made some coffee, and I was talking to him, and he just grabbed me by the throat and nothing what to say.
Okay.
And then the second time I got off the counter and he put me in a headlock and he held it there, and it really made me very uncomfortable.
Some questions I may ask you, and they sound really redundant, very obvious, but these are questions that I have to ask just to get more, clarity as far as, for example, like you mentioned that he grabbed you in the throat. Did he use a right hand or left hand or both hands?
It was his right hand.
Okay. When he grabbed you with the right hand, did he squeeze your throat, or did he just put his hand around your throat?
Squeezed my throat forcibly.
Okay. Did that cause you to have any trouble breathing?
Yes.
Okay. Did you lose consciousness at all? Did
No.
you black out?
I felt really lightheaded after the second time he grabbed me.
That was the headlock, correct? Okay. Do you see any kind of like little fuzzy, shiny things floating around when that happens? Have you ever had that experience before where you shortness of breath or you get a wind knocked out and you also see like this little like glittering things floating around? Okay, so, but that didn't happen though. Okay.
I just coughed a lot.
Okay. Does your throat still hurt now? Okay. When he had his right hand on your throat, how did you get away from that grab?
And he just sat there and he let go.
Okay. Were you hitting his hand at all? Were you telling him to stop? Were you telling him no?
I just was quiet. I just grabbed his hand.
Okay.
I grabbed his wrist. It's like 6 foot something. Really big.
Okay. How long was there between when you were sitting at the counter and he grabbed you by the throat and then he let go? How long after that did he put you in a headlock after you walked away from the counter?
Almost suddenly.
Okay.
Instantly.
When he had you in the headlock, was his left hand arm around you or was his right arm around you?
I think it was right.
Okay. If there's anything that you don't know, that's fine too.
I don't remember.
If there's anything that you don't want to answer, or if you just want to take a few minutes and break and just kind of take your time, that's fine with me too, okay? If there's any questions that you don't feel comfortable with me asking, that's fine too. So don't be afraid to say, like, I'm not comfortable answering that, or I don't want to talk about that, that's fine. It doesn't mean that you don't care, it doesn't mean that this isn't real, it's just take your time. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to rush you. If it feels like I am, just tell me, okay? When he had you in the headlock, did you also have trouble breathing? Okay.
That's what made me cough.
Okay. When he had you in the headlock, again, did you have to fight him off? Did he let go eventually?
Put my arm up and he let go.
Okay. Was there anyone there when this happened? Okay. And you mentioned a counter at Josh's place. Is the kitchen?
Jason's place.
Jason's place. Okay.
It was the kitchen.
Okay. Does Jason live? Okay. So after he grabbed a bit of throat with his right hand and the headlock, and he let you go after the headlock, what happened after that?
I just went and I sat down, and then he acted like everything was normal.
Okay. Did he say anything to you? Did he apologize? Did he?
He didn't say sorry.
Okay. Did he say anything else? Did he say anything else to you during that time after you sat down?
I can't remember what he said to me at the time.
Okay. Now, when I say this, I'm not trying to accuse you or anything, but what was the purpose of you being at Jason's place that night?
I was dating Jason.
I'm sorry?
Jason is my boyfriend.
Okay, so you and Jason are dating. Okay. That I did not know, so I just want to kind of clarify, that makes a lot of sense why you were there. Why was John there?
Because John was one of Jason's friends. He was my friend, and he came over because Jason was gone, and he wanted to just hang out and do art with me.
Okay. So Jason was at home then during this time. Okay. Were you at Jason's house the entire time? Okay. What time were you there, or what day did you get to Jason's place?
I can't remember what day, but it was in the afternoon.
Okay. And when did this happen?
I think it's been a week.
Okay. Do you know the estimate time, day?
Around like noon, I think.
So after you sat down and John acted like everything was okay, what happened after that?
Jason came home and John got up and he left.
Okay. How long was it when you sat down till Jason got home?
It wasn't very long. He got home shortly.
Did you tell Jason what happened?
I told him everything tonight.
Okay. But at that time when it happened, you didn't tell him? Okay.
That's what he's so upset tonight.
Was there a reason you didn't tell Jason what happened that night or that day afternoon?
Because I was really ashamed and I was really afraid.
When this incident happened, did John touch anywhere else, or you didn't get permission to? Did he do anything else to you? Did he?
I don't know.
Okay. So as far as you know, is he just grabbed you by the throat and then put you in a headlock, and each one caused you to have trouble breathing, cough, but you did not black out, lose consciousness. Okay. So after John left and Jason came home, John left. The second incident happened, that was at Josh's place?
It was at John's house.
John's house. When did that take place? That the next day? The same day?
It was, I think it was a couple days later when Jason had to leave for drill because he's in the army.
Okay.
And John wanted me to come over to his house to talk about everything and talk about stuff. And he bought wine and things. And I thought it would be okay to have some wine and just try to talk and try to understand what was going on. And then I got really, really, really drunk. And I was almost blackout drunk, and I was throwing up. And he had me go upstairs when I started throwing up, and he took me upstairs, and he put me in his bed, and I was throwing up. And I just remember a lot of, I don't know, it's a big mess of a bunch of fumbling and stuff, and it was awful.
When you were in John's room, was the light on, light off?
It was awful.
Now when you say fumbling around, was it like someone on top of you, someone laying next to you? Were you...
He was on top of me.
Did you for sure know it was John, or that it was just someone on top of you?
It was John.
Okay. When you felt this, what happened next?
It's really hard to remember because of how drunk that I got.
Okay.
I just remember throwing up a lot, and I remember he was on top of me, but then it didn't. I was too drunk, and like things weren't, I don't know if things weren't working for him or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell asleep. I just didn't think it was right. It messed me up really bad.
Okay. Did you think or believe or know, was there any kind of sexual intercourse that happened that night?
I think so, but he's telling everybody that there wasn't. And that's why Josh is being very protective of it. And it hurts really bad because I just want somebody to blame me.
Or do you have any pain down there? Any soreness, any redness that you know of?
No,
Okay.
there's no reason to use any protection.
Okay. No protection? Did you fight, scratch, kick, or anything like that that you remember of?
No,
Did you say for him to get off? No? Did you try to he hold you down by force, or do you remember anything like that?
I don't remember much of that night.
So after you fell asleep and you woke up, do you know where you were when you woke up? Where were you?
I was in John's bed.
Do you remember having any clothes on, blankets, cover sheets, anything like that?
I had blankets on, but I didn't have my tights on or my socks.
Were you wearing underwear that night? No.
Never had any on.
Or you didn't have any on either? Okay. Did you have a shirt on, or like a tank top, or what did you have on top?
I still had a dress on.
Were you able to find those clothes that belonged to you? Where were they located at?
They were on the floor. And just kind of scattered.
Where was John when you woke up?
He was in the bed.
Was he laying next to you on a different bed, or?
He was lying next to me. He woke up and he told me to get out of his bed and go lay in the other bed so that his roommate wouldn't think anything.
Was the other bed in a separate room or same room?
In the second room. He told me he didn't want his roommate to think anything.
Did you go to the other bed, or where did you go after that?
I went to the other bed and I just laid there until the morning.
When you woke up, was it still nighttime? Was it the next day already?
It was the next day.
Okay. When you went to, do you remember what time you went to John's house?
I don't remember. I think it was after he got done with work, so around 7
p.m., a.m.?
p.m.
Okay. When you woke up, you know what time it was?
It was really early. It was like at 5 or 6 in the morning.
Okay. So you went to the other room around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay. But you went in there, you just laid there, correct? You said you laid it the next morning, or?
I laid there until he got up, and then so he could take me home.
Okay. Do you know what time that was?
I think that was around 10 or 11.
Okay. And John took you home?
And that's the thing Jason's most upset about is what happened at Jason's house after he took me home.
Okay. You took you all the way back home to Stanley, correct? Or where
To
did you
Jason's
take
house.
Jason's house? Okay. Did they happen on a ride home from John's place to Jason's place?
It happened at Jason's place.
Okay. Nothing happened in the car though. Oh, okay. So after John woke up and took you to Jason's place, what happened then?
I got there and I thought Alex, our roommate, would be there, but he was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I got there and he told me to go upstairs to Jason's room because he wanted he wanted to do stuff to me on Jason's bed. Because that's what he wanted, because he told me that that's what gets him off. And he took me upstairs and he told me to take my clothes off. And so I did, because that's what I thought I had to do, because I thought I was a piece of garbage for going over to his house. I would never want to do that.
Be right back, okay? I'm gonna use some tissue.
Right now.
Can't find trash can, so I'll just you can see on the table. Are you okay to go on? Okay.
Can you find out soon if Jason can come here?
Yeah, I can call my partner and see where they're at. I don't know if they're still talking or not, so I will call him shortly and see if he can come here, okay? Last we left off, he told me that John brought you back to Jason's place. And he told you to go upstairs because he gets off of that. When you say, he gets off on it, what do you mean by what happened up in Jason's bed?
He had me take my clothes off, and I let him use me. I regret it so much. I didn't want that to happen.
again, I'm not trying to say this to make you relive what happened, but when you say use me, what do you mean by that?
He had me perform oral on him, and then he did things to me himself from behind. And he didn't use protection again, even though he should have. I wish he would have. He was like, nothing.
When you say the things behind, do you mean like sexual intercourse? Okay. Did you know if he used his penis, or did he use an object or his hand?
He used his penis.
You mentioned earlier that you said you felt that you had to do this because of what happened prior to this, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if you mentioned that he didn't use protection either time when it happened at his place and again at Jason's place? Do you know if he ejaculated inside of you, or?
I couldn't afford Plan B the next day, and that's what I wanted to do.
I'm sorry?
I wanted to take Plan B the next day, but I couldn't afford it. I'm so upset.
Headquarters William 159, copy of stolen vehicle.
After this happened in Jason's room, what happened after that?
After that, I just went and got coffee. And I left the apartment, and I was really upset.
You got coffee at a store, or
At Macy's,
where's that at?
that's on Water Street.
Okay. Racy's? You know how to spell that?
C-Y-S.
Is that,
It's by the pickle.
okay. So that's like the side viewing the window, viewing the river, correct? Okay. Okay, so you went and got coffee there. What did you do, or where did you go?
I don't really even remember. It's like I shut down. I went on autopilot.
Did he come back to Jason's place, or did he go somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Okay, so he went somewhere else.
I can remember now what he said the night at his house.
What did he say?
When he was on top of me, he just kept telling me to be quiet, and he kept calling me a little girl. It was so weird to me. And I told Jason about it, and it made him really upset. And I really vividly remember it. I didn't like that. Can you see Jason's
Judge, I'm stopping it at 20:55:54, and I'm not. The defense does not intend to play any additional portions of the recording.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want more content like this, and hit that like button just to help us out in the algorithm. As always, stay safe out there, everyone.